This week, I have learned a lot, I suppose. Penny, the dog here, doesn't like when I talk to the phone. She thinks there's somebody else here she needs to bark at. But one thing is that I think I'm gonna need to play around with chin rests, because how I want to hold the violin is more like this, which there's different kinds of chin rests I'm learning. There's this side mounted ones, and then there's more center mounted. And I had my friend Sarah take a look at how, she's a violinist, and I had her look at kind of how I like to hold the violin, and she's like, yeah, you might benefit from a center mount. So I gotta maybe order some different chin rests. And then the other thing is, I suppose I need to play around with the shoulder rests as well. But the biggest issue is that this, I don't know if you can see, it's just a pretty severe swoop. And I think I'm gonna want something that's a little bit more flat. So I did learn that. I also, my friend Douglas, he was noticing in one of my videos that I was actually holding the bow kind of in one of the creases of my fingers, or the phalanges, and recommended this grip where it's actually resting on the meat of the first, we'll call that the first joint if you're starting from the base of your hand. So, and that has resulted in, I think, just more natural weight and positive control on my bowing. And then I worked on scales again. Let's see here. And really just the one octave, because one thing I noticed is that when I was starting to work on, moving up past one octave, that my hand frame, I was putting too much support. I was supporting the fiddle too much in my hands here. So I kind of need, for me to do that less, I need to move my head more like this with this mount. And it's still uncomfortable, so I got to play with that. But anyways, there's these hand frames that they call, like, well, I don't know what they're all called, but this one for the normal major scale. This second finger here, this is a high two, is what they call it, I think. And as you move up the scale on this high string, you're gonna lower that second finger down to get a half step. So let's see. And I'm realizing that I'm needing a little bit more support on the fiddle, more positive support, to better manipulate my hands, to kind of position things where I want them with my fingers. So that all to say, worked on scales, worked on bowing. Another thing, I feel like I'm getting a little bit more relaxed in my wrist with my bowing. So let's see, Mississippi hot dog. loud puppy. So yeah, and yeah, it's this is one of those videos where I was like, I really don't. Actually, none of them. I've not felt like making any of these videos because yeah, it's kind of hard to show you how bad I am at the fiddle. But what is this, week 3, I think? And I'm actually really pleased with how things are coming. You know, I'm starting to get, in week 3, I'm starting to get like sort of more of the nuance of the instrument and of like the accessories and like, you know, the technical challenges of like, you know, working out, you know, your chin rest and your shoulder rest and your, you know, getting corrections on the bow. And the other thing that I just really appreciate is the friends of mine like Sarah and Douglas that have helped me kind of coach me and show me a couple little tips. Douglas, especially on the bow hold, he sent me a couple videos is, you know, that he just kind of DM'd me on that. So I'm really appreciative of that. That's one nice thing about the violin is that you'll find that like with Natalie's course, it's really intended to teach the style of playing the fiddle, the Irish fiddle style, and plenty of technique. But the nice thing about the violin is that if you're ever having if you're wondering is my approach, is my bowing, is my grip, all that stuff. There's so many violinists out there that you probably have a friend or two that plays it, and you can just say, hey, check this out, how am I doing? And you know, my daughter plays the violin as well, so I'm constantly asking her you know, questions about grip and all that, so that's nice. But yeah, I don't know, definitely have a long way to go, but that's where I'm at now.